A very good evening. It's Sunday and it is time for more CS. I am your host, Alex Machine Richardson. It's just me and Yanko hanging out again today. We just like to hang out and talk about games, just the two of us with a camera in front of us. Yanko, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Alex. We have another longer day, so to speak. 6 games.
That's right.
Today as well.
6 matches of CSGO to look forward to, and you're going to be seeing a lot of familiar faces as well. Today does feature once again what seems to be our favorite few teams. You get to see Team X once again doing battle alongside, this time, HellRaisers. That should be a bit of a hair raiser, perhaps. We'll see just how far that one does get. We get to see more from FaZe again. We've got a lot to look forward to, actually, but most notably, I think we have to just first focus on what we did see yesterday. Over on Saturday, of course, we saw 6 games. We'll go ahead and let you know exactly how they did go down. It started with that Na'Vi G2 game. Do you think those results tell the whole story there, Yanko?
Well, in the end, they do kind of... The way the first game started, you thought that G2 might run away with it, but Na'Vi managed to come back in the second half, and you know, their first 2 games with Simple in the lineup, they did look pretty strong, although, of course, a bunch of teams coming back from vacation, so still a bit shaky for sure.
Yeah, following that one, we did see Team X and Astralis. The Danish duo did clash, and actually, you know what? Both going the way of Team X. That certainly raised a few eyebrows amongst the community and us here in the studio. And we did finish with Envy's debut in the ESL Pro League, of course, for the 4th season. And FaZe did fall in the first and managed to bite back on Mirage. But it was good to see a solid Envious on Cash. It was I don't want to say, you know, a revitalizing performance, but it was something. It was just nice to see, you know, Kenny hitting shots, happy clutching, some fakes, some good. It seemed very like a good French, a good map for the French side.
For sure. I mean, it's not just that they won; it's that they had a pretty dominant win. And you know, we touched upon it briefly yesterday that they are going to go back to their old roles, to their old play style. That's something they want to try out now after having a lot of struggles this year, pretty much.
And you can see that picking up that win was all important. And for Astralis, they are in dire straits. Losing those first 2 games is going to be a real kick in the teeth. The same story for G2, but Team X managed to bounce back, conceding the first 4, agonizing for them, but they do manage to get an extra 2 on the board. Now you can see them slotting in 4th place. Teams you haven't seen yet, the likes of Fnatic and their new roster, Dignitas, Mousesports yet to play. We do get to see HellRaisers play their first, though you can see them just resting at 11th for now as a bit of a placeholder, and they're going to be going up against none other than Team X. So you never know, we could be seeing HellRaisers join the likes of NIP at the top of the table after this day of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. We saw that Oscar is not in the lineup, at least on HLTV, so he was the star player of the team, pretty much the one who did most of the work with the op as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how will they adapt to that now.
And I've been hinting at what is coming up today. Now we can actually show you guys. We promised HellRaisers, well, you get them first. It will be up against Team X, and then after that, I can't help but feel this will be a bit of a hot one. We get Astralis and Na'Vi, and on Train and Mirage. 2 maps that'll be very enjoyable to watch. Seeing, of course, Mirage leading towards the Danes and maybe Train towards Na'Vi. And then you get to see G2 FaZe. Can G2 bounce back, or rather, can FaZe, excuse me, after their cash loss yesterday versus Envious? They'll be playing against on Overpass as well. God, we've got a pretty good set of games there, Yanko. If you had to choose one, what's your one to watch there? Is it going to be that Astralis game?
Yes, Astralis Na'Vi on one hand, but also G2 FaZe, right?
Yeah.
We saw that G2 yesterday. I think that they're going to be definitely a bit unhappy with that one. I think they had it pretty much on the first map at least, so I think they're looking to bounce back and get some points on the board.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I mean, just to quickly touch on that for a second, you said they had it. It was literally just like a couple of silly clutches and pushes that turned the table at that one.
Yeah, I mean, on the first map, even they had the 11-4 half for them, and unfortunately they lost all 4 pistol rounds in that matchup against Na'Vi. So if they maybe had a bit more luck in those situations, maybe they could have at least won one map.
Yeah, I mean, they could have. They didn't, and instead we do see them sitting 0 and 2 in the tables. But let's turn our attention then to Team X and HellRaisers. And I know we've spent an awful lot of time over the last couple of days talking about Team X, so we can focus our primary attention towards HellRaisers now. You've made the big point. The big point is the absence of Oscar, right? Like, surely that's going to be a lethal, almost deadly blow to HellRaisers. We were singing and screaming about this man being the kind of the star of HellRaisers. Now he has been replaced by Smike.
Definitely, and not just that, it's his playstyle, right? He can be aggressive at times, especially with the AWP. He's the one creating openings for his team. You can argue that Bondik is also a really good player, but I just don't feel that Bondik is his playstyle is that he's the one making, you know, those openings for his team. He's more of a player that comes in, you know, from the background, maybe the one that's going to win you a couple of clutches and so on. So it's going to be, I think, extremely difficult for HellRaisers to play without Oscar.
Was it? What do you think it was blown out of proportion when we kept saying it was the Oscar show? It's hell, you know, it's Oscar +4. All of these kind of silly jokes. It's blown out of proportion, or was he genuinely really a rigid backbone of that team?
I mean, he was the backbone. I don't think you can ever say for any team that it's, you know, one player +4. Obviously, you know, the team is trying to facilitate him so that he can play to the best of his ability, so that he's the one who's the most comfortable player on the team, pretty much. But he was definitely doing a lot of work for them, so I'm interested to see if they'll be able to compensate for that.
Yeah, and of course, most notably, it's worth mentioning that these guys met recently in the Star Ladder, I believe it was the finals, that we see a 2-0 victory in favor of Team X. So recently, a recent success for the Danes could pose problematic for HellRaisers. However, let's not forget that also the maps could play a very big deal here. Nuke being the first. Now, I remember over in the Katowice, the major qualifier, Nuke popped up and HellRaisers, despite finding success on it, I remember Oscar just going, oh, I didn't even know the call-outs. They got like a surprise victory versus Dignitas, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that. Yeah,
Dignitas used it as kind of a pocket pick, knowing that HellRaisers don't play the map pretty much, and HellRaisers still went on to beat them on it. So
I'm pretty sure they got like 10 rounds on like T-side or something ridiculous on T-side Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, because back then it was just when Nuke was reintroduced into the active duty pool, so you know, things are still a bit random at that point. You didn't really have a lot of time to practice the map, so anything can happen pretty much.
If I was to ask you for a player to watch then, now that we've lost Oscar, who is going to be the man to step up to the plate? Would we start talking about Zero? I know he's quite an exciting player.
I mean, Zero, yes, he's a young player as well, but I feel that him and Stico they both have skill, but it's just that they're inconsistent, right? So sometimes they have these amazing games, they lead their team to victory even when Oscar was on board, but sometimes they're just nowhere to be seen, right? So I think that it's definitely going to be up to one of the two to carry the most of the weight for HellRaisers now.
And I mean, I can't help but ask you, because I certainly don't have the information, Smike, does that name ring a bell to you?
I think that he perhaps played in, you know, lower tier teams in the CIS region.
Okay, so he's been around. Or
maybe even with Simple at the time in the worst players lineup, but around those, that level of teams pretty much, right? Never played for, you know, the best teams from the region. I assume he's a young and up-and-coming player, so I'm not sure if he's a permanent addition to the team, or maybe they're just trying him out to see how it goes. But
yeah, I mean, he's young, he's 18 years old, so intriguing to see how he performs along. I'm pretty sure Zero is like 17, so they've got a very young roster. This is going to be intriguing to see them as they go against the old guard like Freeze and the boys. And of course, Team X do need a little bit of a discussion as well. Admittedly, we've been talking an awful lot about them, but sitting 2 wins, 4 losses already in the Pro League, some people would perhaps be would struggle to find the positives for Team X. However, there have been an abundance of them.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair here, I don't think anyone expected Team X to turn heads here in Pro League, or even, you know, compete for the top 4 spots that go, or for the LAN finals. But I feel that for them, it's more than anything else. It's just getting experience and getting to play against top-tier teams, right? We discussed it in the beginning that they had a lot of qualifiers recently. They had a lot of wins coming up to Pro League in those qualifiers, but it's been against weaker opposition, right? And when you play against the best teams in the world and the best players in the world, it's a whole different ballgame. And that's where they can see, okay, so this is what's worked for us before, but will it work against the best teams? Okay, so this is what we need to change. And it's certainly a lot they can take away from, and will definitely help them to improve in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a really interesting kind of discussion where, you know, you've got these big leagues like the Pro League, $750,000, but also it's an opportunity for constant, regular practice against the greats. And it is teams like Penta, like Team X, these kind of slightly lesser-known Tier 2 teams who have an opportunity now to play them day in, day out, week after week, day by day, constantly and in a competitive environment. Have we seen like a success story like that where a team's actually kind of grown throughout a league? I'm not sure if we've seen anyone find like a big growth process. Is anything ringing your bell?
Well, I mean, you can argue that for a number of teams. It certainly helped a lot of teams. Let's say the Brazilian team now, SK Gaming, right? When they moved over after the major in Katowice to North America, that's when, I think that was the first season, actually, if I'm not mistaken, when Pro League started. So that definitely gave them a lot of practice as well. It's always better to, you know, have official games where you can test things and see how it goes, as you pointed out, in competitive environment, because practice, you know, you always take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, you certainly do. I mean, I know I can trigger every analyst that I've ever worked with if I say, yeah, but they beat them in scrims. Anyway, on that one, we are going to head over and watch how Nuke does play out. Thank you very much, Yanko. Now to head over to Panry G to cast this one. Oh, God.
Wow, that was outstanding.
That's one of the worst.
That really is not great. Alex, you're not in prime form. You're not in prime form today, are we, Alex? That was a little offbeat for your normal caliber, let's say. But yeah, we've got an interesting matchup coming up, I guess, at least with an interesting playground for it to go down.
Sure. Team X has been up and down recently. They had a great result yesterday against Astralis. I don't think anyone saw that coming. They've had some other decent online results as well. They're playing in a ton of qualifiers. And these guys have actually already played this week as well. HellRaisers versus X. They played recently, and it was actually in Starladder as well, I think. So they actually beat them 2-0. It's a very close game, though. So I'm expecting good things. The thing is, I know that Team X don't really play Nuke too often. They've actually vetoed that in the last time these guys met up. So I expect this potentially HellRaisers picking in the first map and then going on to Cobble. I feel like Team X will pick that up. So I feel there's some good CS.
Nice 1-1 split.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good game.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to a competitive series here. Always exciting to see what Team X can come up with. As you said, they've been turning a couple of heads here and there, and that Astralis victory certainly was the first piece in there. Bit of a road here throughout the Pro League. However, on the other side, it's the first time we're going to be seeing HellRaisers, at least in this aspect. Again, want to see what they can bring. A lot of people looked at them as maybe a team who had actually gone through Nuke so far. They said in the interview afterwards, we hadn't, but they still played pretty well on it. And again, that's been a fair bit of time since the qualifiers. So hopefully we get to see maybe something even further pushed forward from what we saw before.
Well, here we go, and we are getting into the first map. It's going to be Nuke, of course, versus Team X and HellRaisers. And we'll see what the pistol brings into in this sort of strategy sort of point of view, because it's actually quite an untested map in terms of what teams are presenting. A lot of different teams, especially these lower scale teams, actually bring a lot more innovation than the top teams. They actually have more time to practice this map, right? So I'm interested to see what they're going to do. A lot of teams will rush towards upper and try and get the bomb down quickly and swarm the CTs with the Glock train. The team's aggression coming in from Glaive actually gets taken down. It's the first shot from Sticko. He's got the raid boss set up as well, that Tech 9 armor. So 5-4 now. Ramprom is a very difficult area to take over, but Snappy, he's doing what he can towards the hut.
Yeah, Snappy's doing a great bit of work to even out the odds here. Modi doing a nice job as well, trying to stay alive as long as he can, while still being able to back away as well on ramp. That's perfect. He can allow Freeze to come around, trying to put it out, and they're just constantly moving back here, making those Ts commit around this map and keeping them bunched up by ramp. This is all you can do really at this point. And now Angel's got room to work though. He's in a really nice spot coming down Secret. I think Modi's already got an idea this could be one of the, a bit of a factor here. And there it is. Spots it out, deals with it well. That's 2 already. The game sense coming out from Modi already is really, really quite prime. Yeah,
absolutely. He's done some serious work there to recover this round. They've actually got the man advantage now. But Frisk, he's killed himself. He's crated. We didn't see that, but he must have dropped down from upper, I assume. We'll have to work out what happened there. If we can get a replay, that'd be great. But we'll see. It's going to be Bondic, the last player remaining here. It's going to be planted towards upper. It's actually going to work out for him. It looks like the rest of the CTs will be towards lower, rotating back in the vent as well. It's going to be Snappy. Look at that headshot. Nails it as well. So good recovery from the crater. I'll be interested to see how that actually happened. But that's all down to Modi that round. They lose the first couple of frags there. You saw Snappy going aggressive towards hut. He got the ball rolling. Then Modi doing some fantastic work towards that ramp area. It's a very difficult position to hold as a CT by himself as well, especially when you have the pistol. He nails the first shot, falls down, hits another, rotates back towards his back steps, like we said, and it was very, very good awareness to actually predict that ramp split will be coming in. It's quite a common strategy from terrorist teams. You have one player lurking towards outside, getting towards Secret. If he can get as successful as enough attention towards upper and ramp, means he can come in for the backstab essentially. But Modi read it like a book, and it's going to be 1-0 in favour of Team X on the CT side here. So Bomb did get planted for HellRaisers, so of course this is going to be a full EK for them. We go for AKs on the third. They actually haven't purchased a single thing. I like that approach. It means you get more grenades going into the next round. You actually have smoke across the board and a few Molotovs there as well. So this is just a redundant round. The objective will be, of course, try and plant the bomb at all costs.
The one thing I do recall going back to the qualifiers, that at least started to impress us a little bit as this round, you know, they're spotting them out here. There really shouldn't be too much danger. Is the fact that HellRaisers actually utilized the outside area really nicely before. They actually used that new balcony. They used pieces that have, you know, haven't been played with yet. A lot of the teams kind of absconded away from using them just before that point. So people assumed they may be putting some work. So I'm hoping we get to see that once they get to those buys, make that big wall of smoke, play off the back of it, utilize Secret, and just really deny that information. So again, they're taking their time here, HellRaisers.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm intrigued to see what the plan is. We've just got 5 Glocks, the bombs in spawn. A lot of teams will be trying to go faster down the vents, for example.
Nice little vent dive.
Yeah, a quick plan. I'm not really sure what the objective's going to be when you're just working out some blocks, because they're just going to keep their distance. Here comes the spray down play, lighting them up. And he manages to pick up 2 though. Valve doing what he can with the Max 7. So it's the round over at this point, but they have managed to actually pick up a UMP. And it's actually dropped a sticker remaining into his outranking.
Okay, so Valdo, the weird thing is at the moment as well is I'm actually kind of curious your opinion on this down the line. How viable are these shotguns? It is becoming more and more of a common thing. We saw MBK doing it, we've seen Hiko doing it, and now Valdo as well. It seems like these shotguns actually have a really viable spot in this map as well to play on.
It's a double-edged sword in that respect, because if they come towards up and you're on top of the hub, for example, it works great. But as soon as the bomb goes down for lower, for example, you have to do a retake, you have to change position on the map, that's when it becomes a difficult prospect for you. It's very situational. It definitely has a lot of potential on Nuke, and maps like Cobble as well, we see it we use very often. But here's the force buy from HellRaisers. It's going to be those 5 AKs, 1 Galil as well. That's actually Sticker opening things up. He gets the kill towards outside. So 5 and 4, and they've got a lot of time to play with as well. So we'll see what the reaction is going to be from the CTs. Do they rotate down to lower? Do they try and actually counter what's going on here? It looks like Glaive will be doing just that, and Angel's going to find him, but Glaive does get the headshot first.
It is pulling Team X out of position, though. They're having to fall back to slightly more, I guess, bomb site related spots. They can't just kind of hold those initial angles. Again, it looks like they're going to try and push out from that. Glaive and Freeze not going to just stay where they were, going to get themselves back towards ramp. Valda still being relevant to this point, at least. If they do eventually go for that kind of hit towards upper, he can be very much into this factor. However, it looks like we're going to see those smokes going through towards the upper bomb site. You can hear the glasses being shot out there. I think that is Sticker doing it. It's going to be a molly as well. I think is that towards heaven? I'm not too sure where that one goes.
There's a lot of mollies you can do on this map. You can basically cover the whole bomb side, the rafters, for example. There's another kill coming from Bondic there. So here comes a Molotov execute. Didn't actually work out. I think that actually was misthrown. So that's not going to be too beneficial for him. But Fouled has pushed in towards the hub. But Frizz has dropped. This round should be going in favor of HellRaisers. Now 4 on 2 with time to play as well. Looks like they'll be focusing towards lower. There's going to be rotations from the CT. Look like they still fancy their chances of this somewhat. You can see Snappy, he's actually gone down to lower already, waiting for the plant to come in. If you can deny that, that definitely makes things interesting. Yeah,
this gets a little bit worrying now as well, because there it is. That's the big kill you wanted. Smite goes down, that's the bomb planter removed, and now you're left in this 2v3 that becomes a little more possible. Bear in mind, Valda did at least have that Mag 7, so he wasn't all that useful here, but Snappy can still cause so many issues, and he's doing just that. Zero goes down. Can he get any more? He's buying so much time. 8 seconds now. If only Valda can stop the plant, that would have been perfect, but now he's in a 1v2. He can still do something here. He's got a kit and a flash, but can he find one of these 2 players soon? He needs to, otherwise they're going to set up really nicely for each other, and Sticker's just buying time here.
Yeah, at this point, it's a very difficult prospect for Valve. Like he said, had he denied the bomb, that's pretty much round over. There wasn't enough time to actually get the plant down, but they did it. And now the 2 versus 1, he is trying to do what he can, but he has 10 HP. He should be shut down at this point. Bondic finds him, and as HellRaisers posting their first round to the board there. That was the 3rd round. AK by after getting the bomb down on the pistol. They got the first enough couple of picks there, getting himself towards lower. Got very interesting with Snappy actually denying that initial plant. If he had stayed alive a little bit longer, perhaps could have won the round single-handedly, but it's going to be HellRaisers fighting their first. Still, Team X do have money to buy into this one. AWP is very prevalent on this map, especially towards the outside area. Has options to go towards ramp as well. And we'll see where he decides to go. I'm assuming he'll go towards the garage area. Yep, there he is. So looking for that first kill. Could be interesting. Angel has been spotted, but flashbang's coming in. The smokes as well to take away the vision from Frizz.
Yeah, Freeze could be forced to back away, and he can't watch the cross towards Secret anymore. Going to go to the hyper-passive position all the way around the back as well. So he needs to be quite careful himself, looking out towards Silo now as well, seeing if anyone's going to peek on the back of it. But that's already kind of been encountered. That's already been gone, and Angel's pushing pretty far forward. Glaive's well aware this could be a possibility, but Angel's just going to hold the back. If anyone checks towards Secret, he's going to get that kill. So he can play this out and let the rest of HellRaisers, if they want, try and cause issues elsewhere. Yeah, it's a really strong position for Angel to be in right now. The fact that CTs have no awareness as to what's going on towards Secret, it means almost someone's guaranteed to have to rotate down towards lower. If he were to go towards upper, he has obviously an option to get to the vents as well and split in that sense. So this is great for HellRaisers so far. Great presence on the map. We can see more. He's actually boosted up towards ramp room. That could be
an interesting position. This is actually one of the most OP spots on the map. It's very difficult to actually get someone out of this. There is some ways to flash them, but it's just so hard to actually guarantee that frag. That's why you can actually justify just leaving one player there. But let's see all the players there going towards outside. Chris, a miss from him. Snappy does go down as well. Bonding, it's the upper split coming in, and he does a lot of work here. First 2 frags going in his favor as well, and that's the upper bomb site completely taken over now by HellRaisers. They take a lot of work to get back into this round, and Glaive cannot do it. Okay, so is that another crater? It's actually a team kill. It's okay. just the one this map.
Yeah, is Free still on -1 because of the crater?
Yeah.
Nice. He had two opportunities to get around that in that round, missed them both. Nice to see him just stick on that -1.
Yeah, you know, I haven't seen
just really adds it in. But no, so far I actually quite like that hit towards the upper bomb site. Coming in late towards it as well, working down that utility from the CT side, making the hit. It certainly did help. They had control of the outer yard as well, and they could just pull themselves in through main. But still, nice so far, and while the CT side is going to be suffering.
It's Bonding just getting into towards main entrance by himself. It looked a little bit too easy in my opinion, but still great work from him. It's going to be the full eco from Team X this time. Just USPs. And we'll see whether they can do anything with it. The options are very limited on the EKs for the CTs, I have to say. You can have a stack towards upper, maybe stack ram. It's basically about the stacks. These default pistols aren't going to lead to too many kills here, but you can see HellRaisers, they are aware it's an eco situation. They're just getting real estate on the map. So Bonding once again making good progress towards outside. Does spot a player towards window, but Frizz, can he get off the duck? Maybe the golden duck, the -1. Opportunity here. There it is. He finds it.
There we go. Now he actually has the chance to do more. What's going on? How has Angel not even considered that? Not even realised his teammate fell? I don't know if the communication was a little bit questionable, but I guess, you know, gives Freeze a chance. For him, it is only a Galil, however, he's picked up, not the full-on AK that he probably would be hoping for, but he could still do something. He's going to bait in. Glaive has now got the rifle, and he has the perfect angle to take down Smike as well.
So it was a full eco of USPs, and all of a sudden it's a 5-on-2. That's all down to Frizz. What great positioning from him. That first kill, they had no awareness that he was in that position whatsoever. Like he said, surely the call's coming in. Why is Angel not even checking that position? A little bit confusing at the start of the round there, but Zero does find a kill back in return. It's going to be Glaive dropping, but still a lot of work to do here. 30 seconds remaining as well. Looks like they have to go towards upper.
It feels very individual from HellRaisers as well. Both players fairly isolated, even on the same site, just taking the one-to-one fights, and they're going to get punished. No trade-outs coming off the back of it. Snappy's there above, and there's the shutdown from Valda. That is absolutely tragic. That's a really badly played out round from HellRaisers.
Yeah, like when you have that sort of control towards outside, you should just be sticking as a 5. Normally you keep one person in towards the lobby area, really passive, just calling for any sort of rotations, getting new lurkers coming in behind, and you stick as a 4-man unit. And anyone dies, that refrag should be coming straight away. That should be happening. There's no way Frizz should better get 2 kills with a silenced USP and not be taken down as well. He actually managed to pick up a Galil, and his teammate gets an AK as well. That's an absolute horror show from HellRaisers in a round I'm sure they'll live to regret, but they do have money to buy into round number 6 there. It's going to be 4 AKs with Frizz. He seems to be coming to life now as he gets the double of the AWP. Great start from him. Work has been done at this point. He can just fall back towards heaven. He doesn't really need to commit at this stage as they have got this huge advantage at this point, but he's been backed up by Glaive. Modi just holding towards the ramp room, so they've got a very good position here. It looks like HellRaisers will be coming towards that ramp area. Like I said, it's a very difficult area of the map to actually try and even get any sort of entrance to. Modi just looking for that first kill. Maybe overcommitted that a little bit, didn't hit the first headshot there. Normally most CT players, though, they'll get the vision. If they don't get the first shot, you drop down straight away. You're trying to stay alive. You've got the intel. It's a very difficult position to hold, but 4-on-3 now. 1 minute remaining. They do have a smoke if they wanted to go towards lower. And they've got control of ramp room, which is the gateway to the map. It's very similar to middle and patch.
So they're getting some really good real estate here, HellRaisers. But as you said, they do need to take themselves towards one of these sides. They actually need to commit to it. And play from controller, and Snappy's got a lovely angle. It's going to be smoked off. There was always a threat that someone could be playing around here, you know, committed a little more towards lower, and no one checked the door, even though it swung open. Zero just gets caught out a little bit, which is kind of unnerving. Now Bonding and Stick are going to try and make the best of the very bad situation here. Going to make a bit of a dash towards Dark. No, actually tell a lie, he's gone back towards the doors.
It's still possible at this point. Retaking the lower bomb site Nuke is a horrible affair, but it's going to be Glaive securing it. For now, it's going to be 1 player remaining, that's Sticker. Can't do much about it. The point I'm making there is basically, if you do get the bomb down lower, and you have some players alive, there's so many new options now to go in towards it. Toxic area, the back door, window, there's so many different horrible angles to the CT.
Do you think there's too many options?
For me, it feels like...
Just your opinion personally.
Let's say it's a 4-on-4 and the terrorists do get down lower. It's for me, like a top team will do very well to lose that round. If you have the crossfires established and you have a bit of utility, a smoke to cover off towards a vent, for example, I feel like there's a bit overkill down there at the moment. It was even worse when you could plant on top of the silo, and there wasn't a ladder there before. Yeah, that was a nightmare. But it's okay. Like I'm still very undecided on Nuke as a whole. I don't think it's been explored the potential of what's actually available for the terrorists. I think there's going to be some really exciting meta coming into it, and when a top team really adopts this map and starts taking it on properly, we'll see everyone start catching up, and that's going to be a really exciting time.
No, I actually can't wait. There are a lot more options for the T side here, which is the main thing. It's always been quite a CT-sided map at the very least. So again, I'm hoping to see more teams exploiting stuff.
Like when I first saw it, I thought, wow, this is actually going to be a T-sided map from now.
Well, yeah, because they have so much more to work with in the form of the silo, but they have been limited on some options. Like you can't do the vent dive anymore particularly well because they've changed the trip, so you can't do the nade to open up the door instantly. So there's small pieces that have kind of denied them a little bit here and there, I guess.
I just feel like the potential is definitely there. Just someone needs to get very good at it, and then it'll just be a matter of time before everyone else ready. Oh, that's how you play it. And we'll see what happens here. But Team X looking pretty strong here on the CT side so far. After winning that full eco, it seems to have revitalized them somewhat. It's going to be Frisk back on the AWP. It's one of those maps where double AWP can be viable, but it's really not recommended. Similar to my thoughts on Cobble as well. It's the problem with trying to retake areas like lower, and the lower bomb side with 2 AWPs, and the bombs planted, you're pretty much done for. So we'll see what HellRaisers bring to the table this round. It's not, like we said, they're missing Oscar, right? That's a huge loss for them. He was an absolutely sensational AWPer, and they don't really have that to work with at the moment. So they're going to be trying to go outside once again, but you can see Glaive getting nice and aggressive here. Oh, this angle, though, he's not checking it, but he had a chance to get a kill there. I think Zero has spotted him.
Yeah, I think Zero's seen this. And that's the problem. Now he still gets Angel? That's kind of impressive in itself, but Bondic will at least trade out, so that threat's been removed. But now Freeze knows there is problems afoot. There is, T's trying to get some control towards the outside. Bondic's pushed a little further forward, but they're actually backing away from this, and as is Freeze.
Yeah, Glaive actually got the headshot on Bondic as well, so he did some pretty decent work. There's still a 4-on-4. Looks like the Terrorists will be re-evaluating the setup right now. The bombs could be heading towards lobby. They seem to be favouring the ramp room. They haven't seen much towards upper in terms of those executions. We know they have got the lineups of the Molotovs. You saw them try and throw. It was a miss throw. Sticker's going back towards the roof right now. Pro, he has got a Molotov and 2 flashes, so we'll see whether he can actually nail it this time. It looked like he was trying to get on top of the hut. That's obviously a very strong position to put it on, or CT's, like I said, with the weapons like the shotguns and stuff like that. They'll sit on top of that hut area. Let's see if he nails it this time.
See, the one thing that I enjoyed was actually seeing teams, as soon as they saw that those glasses, or the windows were being broken out. Yeah, words are hard, Henry. They actually smoked out the position so they try and molly just instantly to not allow them to be pushed out of spot. It was actually quite fun to watch. But Freeze already put himself around towards ramp. So again, they switched things up. They had Snappy watching down towards Secret. Modi came around towards, well, underneath Heaven, just watching the push. They gave up some outside control. Now here comes those mollies. Does he nail it this time? Yes, but it's only to rafters. No one's holding it. Well, I guess that's one less angle to check. Yeah,
it's a very tight angle for it to come up and look directly above you, right? So this eradicates some sort of risk here, but it's going to be Val locking them down, gets the first 2 shots there. Modi comes in to clean it up as well, but HellRaisers, after they lost that first pick, looked a little bit confused, a bit apprehensive to actually where they wanted to go. It was a 4-on-4 and back towards the hut area, and for me, that execution wasn't really that hard to deal with. We just saw 1 Molotov coming in, they had a lack of utility, a couple of flashbangs, but the crossfire from the CTs looked very effective indeed. I feel if you're going to do a full execution, you do need multiple Molotovs to actually get rid of more of those risks. You need some smokes going in there as well to actually smoke towards Heaven, and that actually means you have to look at that when you come out. That's quite a key.
I'm a little surprised that's not been there yet.
I think they've been struggling with these force buys. That buy wasn't especially great, and they actually expended most utility towards that side and then fell back. So wasn't a great round overall, but they will be sort of investing into this round. We have got a scout, but Smike, there he is, the new boy. We're not sure if he is the full-time replacement, but he's playing today. Let's get the first shot with the Deagle. Takes down Snappy. But Frisk still alive here, so we're focusing towards the outside area. We'll see whether Frisk can lock them down. Like you said, this very passive position from him. Smike seems to be aware of it, though.
Yeah, they flashed towards him earlier. They're trying to hunt him down. He's pinned back here. Goes back in. Did he get the tag on that time? I'm not sure if he actually tagged him up there as well, but Smike will find him in the end. That means the AWP is now gone from the outside area. Can they do any more? Sticko's now found Glaive, and this is worrying. You're left with 2 players, but Valder in a great position. That's a bomb gone. He now knows where they are. Spots out another. He can't stay alive long enough. Now, did he hear Modi on the ladder then? I think he did, but it doesn't matter. Modi will do the job in the end and keep it just in check. Yeah, that actually was a very decent eco there from HellRaisers, getting that first initial frag, making things a little bit scary, I guess, for Team X. That comes down to the 1-on-1. Modi came with the ladder as well. Didn't really have much information where the last player was, but manages to find the last kill. I'm going to score into 7-2 here. So another full buy from HellRaisers this time. Looks a lot healthier. You can see a lot of top teams especially will focus on the AWP on the T side. They'll actually look for those picks actively towards that outside area and challenge players like Frisk. Obviously don't need it. There's obviously a lot of smokes you can put down to take him away, but they don't seem to be using those very effectively either. It's actually quite fast and fast splits coming in, and that's a shot through the box, actually hits Zero as well. So Frisk is starting to do some serious work now. Massive amounts of pressure being put towards Freeze as well. He's not necessarily isolated, but he's very much alone at the moment. He deals incredibly well with Bondic. Goes back in for more. Didn't expect Angel maybe so close by, but Glaive will be there supporting. He's one of the players that first comes over. Valder's there as well. Modi's being a little careful now as well. And look at this lovely little angle. I quite like that one from Glaive.
That was pretty cool. Just looking under the step there, I'm sure you get a ton of cover from that. So that's Pretty nice position I haven't seen before, but it's going to be 0. Like I said before, he got tagged at the start of the round. He's gone under 49 HP. They have got control of outside, but they haven't really done much with it yet. You can see Sticko, he's going to be holding towards the lobby area, hoping the CT starts rotating in, but for now, there's no real reason to. You have the advantage. You know they haven't got towards Secret for now, so he'll be going towards ramp, but this is another great position for Modi. That's a one-and-done position, but in this scenario, that's perfect. If he can just get 1 kill, that's enough.
It's a great spot, and he can't, as you said, he couldn't probably do more if there were others there to trade off the back of it, but now the only issue being is that Secret's open. They've got 40 seconds to play with. Again, HellRaisers can build something from this, but they're quite low. Smike's only down to 12 HP. It's not looking so lucky, especially with Snappy here.
Now there's only 30 seconds left as well. They're going to be very aware. They're going to be coming towards lower. It's pretty much the only option at this point. They are sneaking in. The problem is the doors aren't open, so they're going to have to make noise actually getting out onto the bomb site here. Not much to work with. Tried to get towards the vent, but Smike gets taken down. At this point, Zero probably knows he needs to save his weapon. If he was to try and plant this, he's almost definitely dead. So let's see how he plays this one out. We'll be smoking the bomb, so maybe he can do something with this. Oh, that's quite cheeky.
All right.
So he's kind of baiting out. I'm in the smoke planting, but he's actually planted behind the silo, so that's actually pretty nice stuff for him. They're going to kill out of this as well. That's the first one. So that's actually not as bad as I thought it'd be. I thought as soon as he got to the bomb site, he'd be taken down, but manages to do that nice little dummy smoke and then plant behind the silo to kind of negate the attention from the CT as well.
All right, Henry. So I'm kind of curious to your thoughts on this one as well, because I'm still waiting to find out how CT and T side of this map is. I know a lot of teams are still working out where they stand on the balance. Back when Nuke was played more prevalently, I guess, or the previous iteration. The T side, if they got a very few amount of rounds, is still very much playable. Do you still think that's the case here, or has that changed already?
Yeah, I still think that's very much the case. Even if you get like 3 rounds, it's always
enough to
there's going to be a possibility of stepping up and actually getting back into it. Yeah, absolutely. It just comes down to the pistol, right? If you can get that and get some momentum rolling, get the economy working in your favor, there's no reason why you can't do the same to them. Like I said, these T sides aren't great so far, even at the top level. I think that needs to be. It's a map that hasn't been played too much. It's like the bogey pick for a lot of these teams. Like the underdogs normally pick it to kind of have that surprise on the better team.
I like that little route there from Freeze as well to get quickly on towards that, I guess, the CT red box, which he's now facing from. It's a little off angle, but there you go. He's got shut down anyway from it. I liked it. Nice idea. But now Glaive's very, very isolated. He's going to buy that T-red area. Now that Nade's going to be kind of raising maybe a couple of eyebrows here, going, where the hell did that just come from? He might get a spot towards Bondic as well. I think he has. Perfectly done from Glaive. Backs away well, stays alive, and controls the threat that was building outside after Freeze got picked up. Yeah,
actually using the terrorist smokes to his advantage. Just sitting behind them. Got a nice little one-way angle. Takes down 2 terrorists. It's going to be a 4-on-2 to 0, and Smike remaining once again. Heading towards that ramp room. I'm really not a fan of this area of the T's anymore. I just feel like there's too many angles to check. Unless you have a full execution, you can't just walk into this area and hope you're going to find a kill. And you can see Zero thinking better of it. He does fall back. Smike has got control of Secret, but what's the plan here? They haven't got the bomb. Oh, it has been picked up now. Zero gets it, but just to be fair, Smike has gone to the vents. Probably he has an AWP, so options are very limited in terms of when he comes up here. Sneaks up.
I'm not sure here, Henry. You know what? When they have no control, this player's still up in rafters, and there's a player by main. This is an incredibly tough round to even consider breaking into. There's so many angles to look at as soon as you exit that hut, and we saw the punish off the back of it. Now, T-Nex are looking solid here. However, it's more about what can they bring on the T side for me.
Sure.
Team X have already shown that they can play pretty well.
I think if HellRaisers don't get any more rounds from now, I don't think 2 is going to be enough. I think you need at least 3 or 4. Now that might sound like a small difference, but it's actually pretty massive. Like obviously you have the pistol threat there. If you lose a pistol, you definitely lost the game. So I think they need to find a couple more rounds to actually stand a chance. They're forcing this once again. The problem is with that, they haven't got the AWP anymore. They haven't got their full utility to do those executions. We know they have in their pocket, just don't really have enough to work with at the moment. Let's see what area they decide to go towards. Looks like just holding up in the lobby for now. Bondic will be working towards Silo outside, but Friss is watching him, so there it is. Just using that smoke. Once again, it's a terrorist smoke that CT is using to their advantage, right? So that's actually a very clever play from Friss.
So far, I feel this map really does complement his style as well. It's quite a passive AWPer in comparison to maybe the more active ones. It seems to be very, very good for him. Again, the same sort of mollies going in towards the upper bomb site. Maybe HellRaisers posturing towards that for now, but still yet to fully commit anywhere. They've got a minute left, and then some. Steelers a little cautious that someone's pushing the outside area. They certainly could. There's absolutely no one there. And that molly, again, not really creating much space, but just one less angle to check if they do commit.
The thing is, they've been counter molly back towards the hut, so they can't really go through with that one, but they have finally got that kill towards molly now. There is an option to go towards lower. Frizz is passively holding the angle, but won't really get much from this. I don't think anyone's going to gift him a kill, so they should be heading straight towards the lower bomb site here. There'll be 4 players remaining, 4 HellRaisers. Surely have a smoke remaining. I don't think they have a smoke at the bomb. So they're going to have a tough time here. Glaive, he's been having a great game so far. Helps out Snappy and gets himself a second kill as well. You can see how HellRaisers are struggling to actually do anything with this one. Angel gets the kill back, and we have got a player in the vents as well. So 3 versus 2, but Snappy makes it a 3 versus 1.
Yeah, and that one is 0. So he's going to be having an incredibly tricky time to unravel this. You've got Snappy to the right. You have to commit over towards this one. And you've got the crossfire in place already. It doesn't matter. This scoreline is getting a little bit devastating. It still looked feasible. It's still got a couple, a little bit of wiggle room here, but the money is so sparse already for HellRaisers. They're just not getting those nice buys. You've barely seen the AWP picked up. Have we seen the AWP actually picked up?
Yeah,
for them?
both had it 1 round. It didn't get any kills, but it was there. No fingers on the round, one actually. So this is actually Glaive. He's completely wrecking them this time. They're getting the first pick, and Glaive's rotating. He seems to be everywhere. Wherever they go, Glaive's in the right place. He finds 2 kills and just stops him actually getting onto the bomb sites as well. He's been effective outside, effective towards lower. So it's been very impressive from him so far. It's another semi-forced buy here. It's a partial buy, I guess, from HellRaisers. All the scouts out. Someone's got the eagle head armor as well, but Smikes is getting completely taken down there. It's going to be a 5-on-4 straight away. Glaive, once again, he gets an opening kill. Not really much work has to be done now. It'll be a bit of a risk to even challenge, and the jumping scout is out towards the inside area.
Well, Glaive was trying to be pretty aware of the silo area. It was always going to be a threat, but he can't particularly back away from that safely. Once he's committed, the T's didn't have any smokes. He could abuse that time to run away. Now it's down to the others. It's down to a 4v4, but it's still looking very unlikely for HellRaisers unless they pull something together pretty soon. Get some guns away, try and build into it. Only one has armor as well. That's Sticko bearing in mind, and they haven't particularly committed anywhere. They've gained a bit of ground, but Glaive was only merely supporting Free, so it's not the first time that Team X have had to operate without any presence towards the outside area.
Well, they have once again pushed the cities back to more defensive positions here, so we'll see whether they can actually do anything with this. It's going to be Sticko making his way towards heaven. Slowly but surely. I think he did make a footstep there, so Snappy seems aware at least there's something maybe afoot there as he does rotate over as well. It's up to Sticko. If Sticko can find this kill, we have a real chance to make something of this round, but Snappy does lock it down. 5-on-3 now. Oh, sorry, 4-on-3. Angel, Bondic, and Zero just holding towards the lobby. Not really sure what the plan is here when you have to scout, just hoping that you can get the picks from main.
I don't think they know what the plan is right now, if I'm honest, Henry. It's looking pretty grim for them. That's a good bit of work. That's suddenly turned things around. Zero and Angel get quick kills. You've got about 10 seconds. And they have a good shot at this. Where's the bomb, though? Zero's got it. There it is. Planted in, done, dusted. But now it's down to Bondic. 1v1 up against Freeze. Bondic knows where the bomb is planted. He can play around this well. And freezes that. 2 flashes, and it doesn't matter in the end. The smoke came out, Freeze took the fight, and he's going to win it. So another solid round coming in for Team X. They finally bring it a little bit closer, but even by that point, it's still not working out for them.
There's been a lot of these rounds, and they get very close to actually winning it, and then there's not finishing it off. That's another partial by coming down to the 1 versus 1 again, but still can't finish it off. Still on 2 rounds here, and they're getting to the dying sectors of this first half as well, so they need to be very careful going forward. But they have got money going to round number 14. You can see they've got AK-47s, they've got an AWP, and they've got a full array of utility as well. So hopefully we can get a couple more on the board. I feel like they will get 1 more round. It's just very, very close, unfortunate clutch situations that are letting them down at the moment. The fundamentals of the round are pretty good. They're actually getting those initial kills. They're getting towards the bomb site, just getting the bomb down and actually getting themselves in post-plant situations has been the problem.
But we are going to see that T-side AWP as well. Smike's be the player with that, so he can actually challenge out Freeze if he wants to.
Problem is, Smike, like we said...
He's not been playing well yet.
Yeah, so he's on 4 for 12, right? But there we go. Does find the kill towards Frizz, so once again, the 5-on-4, can they capitalise this time?
You're going to have to know that Glaive's going to be here and Snappy's somewhere close by. These two have been so prevalent, they're always following this one up. If you get Freeze down, you know they're going to be just waiting the wins to try and avenge. Now, Snappy's going to be holding down by Secret, then Glaive's over by main. So again, they don't have that massive amount of ground gain yet for HellRaisers, and they're so aware of this too.
Yeah, look how close these guys are. Snappy, does he dare go up the steps a little bit? Looks like Angel is just waiting for it as well. So who's going to crack first? Snappy being very disciplined right now, wants to go exploring, but he knows there could be a lot of risk around here. And I think Angel will get the drop on it here. There it is, gets the headshot. So going to be the 5-on-3. Surely this is the round they pick up. Glaive is still alive though, the danger man. Let's see what he can do from heaven.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's going to be trying to put himself in this. HellRaisers are going to be heading towards lower right about now. They're going to be going down ramp. It's pretty uncontested, but Glaive's not far off. If he can get around the back at the right time, he could be in some good positions. However, there was a player above him towards heaven. I think that's Bondic utilizing that new sort of area. Oh, he's already found Smike, so there's the first step. He has gone around the back by ramp, and oh, it was Sticko there. Glaive's found him too. So yeah, he is in quite definitely the danger man in this one. 1v3 now. You'd have to get the ace to pull this off, but If you want someone in this sort of spot, I guess you're going to have to go for him. And there's the sound cue. He knows what's coming behind him. But Bondik still hits the shot, leaps down, and tries to keep this one at least interesting. 11-3, that's a little bit more of a buffer, but not quite enough to feel confident going into that second half just yet.
Just goes to show you how close this game has been. If after winning, what was it, 9 rounds in a row, losing 1 round, the Team X are pretty much on a forced buy here. It's the last round, of course, so they will be buying regardless. We can see it's not a great buy at all. It's going to be UMP, Mag 7, 1 kit, 1 incendiary as well, so they are limited going into this one. But still, it's going to be something to work with. 3 rifles. The problem is they don't have the first AWP, so outside's going to be a bit of a problem. Glaive going to be a bit more aggressive this time. He's just holding him towards Secret, using those smokes once again to get himself in a decent position.
Yeah, trying to work their way up here. It will be Glaive, waiting not too far away. Again, UMP maybe not quite going to have the firepower, but a great flash. I hope that was from Team X and not from HellRaisers. I'm not too sure at this point, but again, Glaive will make the most fit and upgrade towards a rifle as well. There's the win out from Modi too towards Ramp. They are just strangling HellRaisers throughout this map. They are just now not getting any steps.
Yeah, it's that UMP from Glaive holding things up. Like I said, we didn't see where the flash come from, but that was from a T side. That's an absolute nightmare. It's like the perfect flash as well. Glaive actually dancing in the fire right now. That was a move he didn't have to commit to, but does find a kill regardless. And he brings it into the 4 versus 1. Just Bondik remaining, and he's going to have a tough time here. Does find a kill towards Val, but I thought he was going to take some damage with the shotgun there. It's going to be the 3 versus 1. Bondik has got a smoke, Molotov, AK, Tech 9, armor. He's pretty much fully loaded right now. So let's see if he can find anything with this. Obviously, it's the last round, no room to save. If he can pick up this last one, 4 would be great, but it's a real tough task here, 3 versus 1.
All right, pick your poison, Bondik. Where are you going to go? Going to fight out Modi towards Ramp. All right, try and take the 1-to-1 fight. They generally haven't been stacking it out. Questionable movement there from Bondik, and it'll just get him caught in the end. Modi will shut it down. And a very strong half here for Team X. They are looking pretty much in control. Large and in charge. HellRaisers, let's be very real, a little bit underwhelming so far. I'm kind of hoping we see a bit more from them once they switch onto that CT side. We can see maybe what they really have working with a little more bias of the map beside them. But your thoughts so far on Team X?
Yeah, they had a lot of luck there with that full eco, actually getting them back into the game. That's where the thing started to swing out of control. We did see 3 rounds. Like I said, I'm not sure that's going to be enough, but maybe if HellRaisers can win the pistol, they still have some legs there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly that. Let's see if they can pick up that pistol after the break. 12-3 was the score on the first half. Again, looking a little dominant towards the one side.
Yeah.
But there is still room for possibility, as you said, but it has to start on that pistol.
Sure, like it's a CT-sided map, like evidently, that's a huge score. But HellRaisers, they were lacking a bit in their executions. You can see they're struggling to actually get the bomb down in all the scenarios. They did win that third round force buy, but that was obviously when they were up against like SMGs and Famouses there, and there's no orb. So that's understandable why they got that round. But as soon as Team X got the money back, they looked very strong indeed. If they do pick up this pistol, it's going to be a very difficult affair for HellRaisers to get back into this. It's almost must win at this point. You can't afford to lose this pistol.
And the one thing you could argue for Team X, at least throughout their performance in the Pro League so far, is the fact they've been very proficient on their pistols. It's actually one of their highlight things that we've been able to see, even though you have to take it away from them in other games. We're seeing, I thought we were going to see maybe a vent dive then.
Was coming in
I was ready. I was ready for it, Henry.
And the fact they had this full Glock armor as well, this is just going to be sticking together using the Glock train. They do get the first kill here, but Zero trying to do similar work to what we saw from Modi in the first half. Does get the first kill, and Spike chiming in as well from the rotation. He gets a double, both headshots, so there's some real serious chances to actually pick it up. Really nice individual play across the board for HellRaisers there. Zero gaining 3, and Smike finding 2 headshots as well. So it looked like Team X had that round completely locked down. That's why I said the ramp room, for me on the terrorist side, is such a difficult place to go towards. Is it a tight angle? If CT's holding long range with the pistol as well, he can afford to take 5 or 6 shots before he has to fall back. It's not that the Glocks are ever going to challenge him.
Yeah. To be fair, I did think Zero maybe had stayed his welcome a little too long on ramp, but still was able to get away and readjust down towards the lower side of it.
It's a really difficult place to go with the Glocks, and it's just the one-shot potential of the USP. That's like a dream shooting gallery for you. Straight line, don't really have to aim too much, just spam the USP a little bit, you're going to hit some heads.
All right, so now what do we get coming back into this? We do have the 2, well, 3 rifles, tell a lie, coming back out for HellRaisers, 2 of the SMGs as well. And on the other side, Tech-9's a little bit of smoke and utility there for Glaive. So again, could build something out of this, but not going to commit anywhere just yet. Maybe just going to see if they can find some aggression. Glaive desperate to find a little bit of a pixel out place towards outside, but probably not going to be gifted much here. They
have got the head armor and the upgraded pistols as well. There is a smoke available. That's in the hands of Glaive, but for now, he's towards outside. He's going to be alone, so we'll see what he decides to do. It's going to be Zero, putting a bit of pressure here. This is good, though. You get the intel, you fall back, a bit of rotation comes in, you just want to let them have the ramp, and that's not the end of the world. It's like giving up middle on cash, like I said before. So it's just getting that intel, falling back, make sure you have the rotations coming in, you're adjusting your setup.
See if Team X can gain any other ground elsewhere across the map then. Wayne Jolt tries to tuck under that one. Freeze found the angle nonetheless, and that's a gun loose. And actually, that was one of the rifles, so I'm not sure if they can recover it cleanly. No, they can't. Smike is there, but he trades out as well. This is good trading from Team X so far. Yeah, absolutely. They still have a ton of time as well. 40 seconds Valve with that control of the ramp room. CTs need to probably push and get for a kill here. You can see Sticker, he's got the MP9. Doesn't really have much to work with. Closes the squeaky door, jumping in towards that hut room as well. So we'll see whether he can actually do anything with this SMG. It's got to be Bondic that to step up first. He's very much on the verge here, and I think he knows it as well. I think he's just about seeing those players, but the reload is off. The timing, but there's the support coming in from Rafters. It's Zero there to lock down Modi, and now Valda left caught out. And that was a very, it was a competitive round, I guess, there from Team X, but eventually the shutdown just came through. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be that bait, actually, from Sticker at the MP9 towards the HUD area, and we thought, okay, well, he's actually done for now, but the rotation came in. He pulls the 5.7, still a very effective weapon at close range, and it goes to 5 rounds for HellRaisers. So we said it was a must-win pistol. This is the start of the campaign now. You can actually get really deep into this one. It's going to be a full eco from Team X here, just going to be 5 Glocks, trying to get the bomb down. Like I said, it's not really much point in trying to do a full defo and trying to work map control. You might as well just stick together, hope for the best, and see if you can actually just get the bomb down and see what they bring to the table here in round number 3. Glaive going fast by himself towards outside. And they're just waiting for those initial nades to dissipate and send the areas down as well. But some aggression coming in from Bondic. He wants to farm some cash with that UMP. Again, I guess he knows what he's coming up against here. Just as long as he doesn't overextend too far, he does need to back away now. 17 HP is getting a little bit worrying. Sticker's just going to go straight through Squeaky, and Freeze will sacrifice himself to 0. So again, just kind of buffing this one out. HellRaisers now pulling that scoreline back to what looks actually now like a competitive match. The buy is going to come through now. This is what I want to be seeing, is what can Team X now do as they're on the T side. They've got that nice bit of utility beside them. They've been showing some very scripted almost pieces in other maps, but as you said, this maybe isn't one of their home maps that they don't play all that often. This round is a little bit of a risk. We call this one like the bonus round. If you take over SMGs from round number 3 or round number 2, sorry. Is that what you call it, the bonus round? Yeah, that's what I kind of call it. Just to kind of say, like, the point is, like, you're taking SMGs across from the rounds you like your anti-eco, and you're taking that risk. You did have money available to buy rifles, and this scenario, I think I would have preferred them to do so, because considering the scoreline right now, but we'll see what they decide, how it works out for them. A UMP is still a very viable weapon, and if you position yourself correctly. So it's going to be Glaive, though, getting that outside control and getting that first pick as well. That's Smite that goes down first. So Glaive continuing his good form so far. Sticker does rotate towards lower, holding that strong steps area. Muddy now, hoping he can do something towards the ramp room, but still, they can just bide their time. No one really needs to overcommit at this stage. Yeah, and you've still got Angel over by ramp as well, so they're going to switch things up here a little bit. I guess they have to adjust, shuffle around after they did lose out on Smike early on, so they have to try and make up for that deficit, holding nice, nice and close angles here. And let's see where Team X take it to. They are lining up by radio, if I'm not mistaken. Freeze is waiting there too. There's a little flash off the wall. Not going to utilize the smoke. You can do a set piece too. And this is the problem. Angel's been waiting ever so patiently. There is a little bit of a gap between those two boxes. You can see the cross on. Molly does at least get one back, and now we're down to a 4v3. Still favorable, however, to Team X.
Absolutely. 40 seconds remaining as well. They have got a smoke if they wanted to go towards that lower bomb site with the control of ramp. That's definitely an option. Bonding now, like I said, these UMPs are going to struggle in these situations. But yeah, Frisk has got towards heaven. He just misses on the timing there. So Bonding desperate to get something out of this, but it looks like Team X are aware. Snappy, of course he is. Takes him down 4 versus 2 now. Last remaining CT player will be, well, last 2 remaining CT players. One towards Secret for now, and 0 is in the lower. So the bomber will be planted in the upper bomb site. So this is going to be a very difficult and tricky scenario for them in the 4 versus 2.
They're going to do in this one. Sticko's just been told no pretty much there.
They've got 2 rifles here. I'd say save the weapons and actually take that into the next round. They still, like I said, we had these UMPs before, so there's money available. Didn't have to upgrade them, so they take these 2 rifles. They definitely have a nice healthy buy going into round number 5.
It's a little unnerving when you see Glaive, though, having so much easy access towards that outside area at the start as well.
He seems to be getting there by himself. He had a couple of smokes dropped towards Secret, and he just used them once again just to look in towards the catwalk area and found that unsuspecting CT player. He thought he was covered. And that was the first frag, and open the window for Team X. They will be finding round number 13 here. Not going to be hunting too hard, I think, in the money. It's not fantastic. They've had a lot of difficult rounds with the force buy in the second as well, so they want to make sure they get the money for the AWP. Frisk has picked one up as well, so it's looking pretty positive going into round number 5. But here it is. It's going to be 5 rifles for HellRaisers. Don't have that all potential outside, so I'll be interested to see what kind of setup they bring to the table here, whether they go towards the catwalk area or whether they just allow outside to just be taken over by the terrorists.
Yeah, Freeze had a pretty good spawn as well. I wonder if he's going to go for something a little quicker than the others. Maybe go for that instant fight towards the silo area if you can get the movement just back to back over towards it. You don't have to do the jump anymore, particularly hard. No. It's nice and given over for you these days. Thank you, Valve, for making it nice and easy. All right, but there we go. He's got the angle, but there's nothing to be seen particularly. They don't have the AWP on the other side, so it's going to be a little bit more passive from HellRaisers. I say that. Angel's getting a little bit close to the action here. That wall of smoke going to light the way or lead the way towards Secret.
It's an interesting variation. But normally we saw the pretty standard smokes in the previous iteration in Nuke, the ones by main entrance and between garage. I actually like that little tunnel they create towards Secret, just using the red crate as well as part of the cover. That's a pretty cool idea to do it. It looks like a lot easier to execute as well. It's not as telegraphed. You can throw those pretty quickly and get down there. They've gone undetected for now. They've got control of the lower area.
Well, these were the changes we were looking for teams to bring. Just those small, different ways of approaching maps that make this one quite interesting to see who's been, working stuff out here and there, maybe on the fly or not. But Smike's one who could stop all of this.
Yeah, he's definitely in an advantageous position for now, but he's going to get 1 kill and then they know exactly where he is. He's going to take a nice double spray down from him to actually do anything with it. But so Team X will be falling back at this stage. Have they given themselves a bit more information? Has Morty worked something towards Rampram? It looks pretty quiet for now. I'm not sure why they decided to fall back. Maybe it's some sort of execution as Morty does flash in towards the ramp now.
Yeah, he's looking for this one. Snappy's traded out with Angel pretty much. Glaive's gone down. He was a bit of a heavy hitter, so again, that boosted position in ramp could have been an issue, not going to be. Team X turning their attention elsewhere. Sticko's had a mare, gets back down. Bonding now from up in rafters, so perfect placement. Look at that. Absolute sheer accuracy going through from him, just nailing them nice and easy. Just enjoying the vertical advantage and no molly to push him out of place.
Yeah, so although that was a bit of a horror show from the vents, it actually proved to be quite successful. The fact that there was so much attention brought to that area, Bonding could have sprayed them down, like you said. Very good accuracy there. Nice burst fires as they run into the bomb site. So it's going to be HellRaisers recovering there after losing 1 round. Just bring the scoreline in this half to 4-1. So definitely an opportunity to make this game competitive. They have broken somewhat of the economy of Team X. There's 2 pistols now, 3 AKs. They are all in. I want to see what they can do with this one and see if they can reset the economy of HellRaisers in return as well.
And again, and just got to be careful. There's not that many people playing towards the outside area for HellRaisers. It's pretty much him. If you compare that to how Team X were playing, they always had Glaive, Freeze, and then maybe Snappy not far off either. So he could be exploited in this. I think Sticko's turning his attention around from main as well. So they are trying to support him out. Actually, no, he's in lower, isn't he?
This is all 5 players for Team X going towards outside now, towards that secret area. Before, they were just sending Glaive. So this is a full lower execution. You can see HellRaisers are ready for it. Sticko got to that steps area as well. Smike said, what a great crossfire this could be if it works out for them. So the idea is Sticko needs to get the attention. That's when Smike's going to face.
It's actually really nice. Let's see if it pays off.
There it
Already,
is.
Sticko's done brilliant work there. That is the perfect crossfire. Now, Valda's still going to find Smite, but he can't follow up beyond that. Sticko locks it out, and that is actually a really innovative way of playing. I haven't seen them both utilizing the stairs like that at the same time.
Just the way those angles have worked out like that, that's a really nice way to do it. Like I said, Smite just waits for the call to come in from Sticko. He gets that first kill. There's no way they're going to still look at that area. So that's a very nice way to set it up when you know they're coming towards lower. All 5 players from Team X go into that area. So just Modi remaining. He did find those 2 kills, but not sure this is going to be enough. He could get a plant out of this. His plant on that silo. I think the Cities would be happy to let him have it. They'll come in together and just make sure they're efficient in finishing this one off.
You don't want to let that Molly run away with too much. Keep it fairly in check. He shouldn't be able to get away with it. There's such a little HP, and they've got so much to play with on the way through. Again, going to try and take the fight towards one. Not going to make it happen. Angel there will find it and keep it in check for HellRaisers. And I've got to say again, highly impressed with that lovely crossfire. It's really nice to see just any small new innovations coming through on this map. Incredibly enjoyable, even if it's just a small little crossfire set piece like that.
Yeah, it's obviously
so nice.
A bit of a gamble. You're like committing 2 players towards it, but you need to make sure you know they're going towards that lower area. It seemed like they were very certain of it, and actually works out very nicely. That Team X is trying to mix up the tactics a little bit. Obviously, they've been sending 1 player towards Secret time and time again, and now they're just trying to throw all 5 in and see what happens. Didn't work out for them, so now they will be on a pretty much fully geared. They've got some upgraded pistols. Modi's got the body armor as well. Looks like an upper rush, maybe a vent dive. I think it is time for the vent dive.
Doesn't normally go too well. I don't know where that... the molly actually spreads in towards the vent itself as well. So that's not pleasant. Again, the timing has changed since the previous ones. As you can see, there's now that kind of like forklift there in the way, so you can't nade the door quickly anymore. You can't just dive down straight away. It is a little tougher, and the CTs are there pretty fast. So again, not many teams go for it as much as... I do like the idea of it.
Yeah, it still can be an idea. Like, in fact, if you can get, it's more of a, you need a dummy. You need 2 people coming out hot, 2 towards the door, then you need the last guy just trying to sneak down there when all the chaos is going on. But we do have guns again once more for Team X. Could be 5 AKs this time, though, for his AWP. Could be an interesting factor, but Smike, he's struggling to get towards Secret, does finally make it. He'll get punished this time, and he's got the AWP as well. Looking at that first kill, I think he's almost guaranteed this kill towards Frizz. He's going to peek eventually.
Unless Glaive's trying to work around that. We'll see if Glaive can spot him out first and foremostly. Again, the smoke's going to pay a little bit actually in Smike's hands there. He's going to be able to see the feet kind of swing through it. He'll be able to spot out Glaive. Now, they're going to try and work off the back of that Team X, see how much they can push up, see if they can catch anyone out here. Angel's going to pick up the mantle where it was left off, but Zero already in the meantime found Valda. This is a nice round from HellRaisers. Extraordinarily clean so far, and really just finding Team X right out in the open.
Yeah, this is going to be a close game, Lauren. I can feel it. It looks like HellRaisers really have got a good grasp of the CT side here. Good setups, and seems like Smike's coming to life with the AWP as well. Good positioning from him. And it's going to be 13-10 now. Another eco coming in for Team X. They can't really do much with this one. Lost bonus starting to accumulate. They're at 4th stage. They have taken a pause at this point, so I guess the idea, discuss what the idea is going forward. It seems like they are kind of limited. We haven't seen any of those set pieces as of yet. A lot of the top teams, like the teams that do play this map, Liquid and SK, for example, and G2 to some extent, they actually have a plethora of tactics. They have the full inside executions. Once they've done the default, once they've found a pick, they have ways of getting into these bomb sites, which is the hardest part of the process, actually getting into a site and planting, like we saw HellRaisers struggling with as well. So I'd like to see whether they're discussing that right now. What options do we have to us? Will we be buying next round? They don't really need to do anything with this. They could get Tech-9s and some smokes and stuff like that and try and rush towards outside. I'd say just try to send 5 towards lower again with the Tech-9s and see if you can shut down that crossfire. Yep. But look at the money accumulating for HellRaisers. They've got, even after the rebuys,
they've got a lot.
10k for 2 players, 8 on the other 2, and then Sticko a little bit further behind on 7. But they've got a ton of cash going forward, and they are making a convincing case to actually get back into this game. Yeah,
they really are. And I think you summarised it perfectly. As long as you get that little bit of a buffer to take you over towards that next side. Yeah. And, you know, the first step, always getting that pistol for the team who has the deficit. It is very possible on this map, especially obviously when you're on the CT side, of course. Yeah. It really is a possibility, and it's still quite curious to see how much of a side bias there is, and it's so dominant on this map in comparison to others. But again, it's quite a unique factor here, and I'm waiting to see that team to break. You know, Na'Vi always seemed the one to break the T sides for me. You know, Train, they were the ones who came in and just, you know, made it look like, hell, it's why not? Is it just T biased when Na'Vi play? I want to see a team really try and push that T side. I think this map's a little harder to do that on, but still. Going back into this one, we actually have a little bit of armor to supplement those Tech-9s as well.
We do, and it looks like all 5 players will be grouping towards the ramp. So they have 1 smoke here. That's in the hands of Frizz. He's probably going to chuck that towards the left-hand side of the ramp entrance, and where you're looking right now. But Sticko does find a kill towards Frizz. I'm not sure how that went down, but There we go. Doesn't work out. The smoke does not get thrown. They have to run in. The boost is coming in. We talked about his OP boost, but Modi does manage to lock it down. He'll be the last player remaining now. Has got the AK-47. Could get a second kill here, but Smike, he's got other ideas. Takes him down with the 5-7 to finish things off there. So nice hold from HellRaisers. Only dropped one player, and considering the money situation, that's not a huge deal going forward. For Isto, he has got the AWP, but it's glass cannon. I'd say on Nuke, that's not a massive deal. It's not like it's going to be lots of nade territory. If you're going towards Silo, for example, you're going to get killed one bullet by an AWP anyway. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be the AWP on Smike. I'm interested to see what he does on the CT half. Whether it'll be like more dynamic AWP and going towards ramp, for example, which he might be doing right now. But this is my favourite kind of AWP, is if you can actually be in a different position every single round and kind of keep people guessing. But changes his up towards heaven for now.
Yeah, I'm just going to be watching the cross again. Well, Team X showed preference towards it. Maybe not a bad idea.
Yeah, the reason he goes towards ramp at the start there is he throws his smoke in for his teammate. So he expends his smoke at the start, it buys him another smoke for his teammate. It's the idea is like you can use yours when you need it. I'll chuck mine at the start to stop the initial rush.
So, Glaive trying to get some control towards the outside area. Angel playing incredibly passive towards Garage. He is tucked in incredibly deep. He's basically playing off the back of Smike here. Trying to find a new angle. I quite like this. Again, he might have the drop there towards Freeze. I don't know if Freeze would check this one straight and foremost. He doesn't. That does give Smike the drop, and now the crossfire's in place. HellRaisers are really creating some very nice pieces on this CT side that are a little unorthodox. Again, small changes.
I'm going to say
spots.
right now, I think HellRaisers are going to win this map. It looks like Team X haven't got much to bring to the table in terms of tactics on this map. That is, now the idea was that pause is just led to, right, just give Fritz the AWP. He'll get something outside. Surely he'll get something. Everyone else is a static. There's nothing else going on. I'm guessing that Modi's maybe towards ramp again, trying to see what he can do. He's actually holding towards lobby. He's been headshot. I really do think HellRaisers are going to actually take this. This is it'll be crazy to see if teammates actually have anything to execute or even have a way to get towards the bomb sites himself.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the nice. Okay, nice shot from Snappy. They're using the bit of a flash play by his teammates, but they still know there's one going to be in Garage, so they can't just blindly cross. Surely not. They've got to be careful of this. No, they are going hunting for it. Valdo will find it. This has become a little more interesting, but look at the time, Henry. It's 10 seconds left. They have to commit now.
Yeah, they really do, and they're going to be coming through the main entrance. They are finding the kills, though. 2 players remaining for the CT. The bomb could be planted, but Bondic, he's got other ideas. Double spray down with the AK-47, both headshots, of course, as well. So it did get a bit interesting there. Team X found some individual form, but it's HellRaisers closing the gap slowly but surely. It's now 13-12, and it's an eco for Team X, but it looks at things. They could definitely justify a partial investment. There's still a maximum loss burn. Okay, they're all in. All right. I was going to say, you probably want to have that AWP, guys, and actually have something to work with. You've been struggling in the full gun rounds. I'm not sure why this would work out for them. They have got 5 rifles short, but they're just lacking in terms of, they've got no Molotovs, a few smokes. I guess they're going to do that simple tunnel idea towards outside again, see if Glaive can get that initial kill, but smoked out for now. Going to see if they can get any sort of control of the outside area. Where is Smike this round? He'll be towards ramp, I believe. So yeah, he's changing his position a bit drown.
It's nice to see. Again, keeping them on their toes, can't commit too far, and I don't know what Valdo was planning, just completely committing and running into Angel. They do look lost. They look like they haven't played this version yet. They look like they're just going to go exploring. And on the other side, Angel waiting, and I think he knows Glaive's there. I think he heard additional steps, or at least aware there may be the threat of one more, and that's where the bomb is with Glaive as well. Desperate to navigate his way around to a favourable angle. He does find it eventually, but now it's down to this 4v3.
It's not so much a team effort right now. They're just hoping their individual stars, like Glaive, works by himself and finds the frags. That's all that's really worked out for them as such. The run one they did win. They are going to be focusing towards the upper side. The bomb has gone down there. It's a bit of a mess. They're running in 1 by 1, and Snappy will be the last remaining player. Can't really do much of this. But yes, like we just pointed out, it looks like Team X don't really have much to work with in terms of even a standard default. They're just walking outside and hoping that someone can find a headshot there, but it is not checking every single angle. They're getting locked down. They've won 1 round so far, as we're highlighting. That's round number 4. That's when we had I think that was that double UMP setup as well, wasn't it? So
yes,
that's the only round they've won is when the SMGs were out. In that bonus round, as you called it.
Henry, today is not the day to start this. All right. It's a very fine line I'm treading here.
It's fine.
It's not fine, Henry.
What is fine, though, is we've got a good game on our hands. It's 13-13, and it's going to be the partial by this time. No force from Team X, focusing once again towards the ramp. Decent smoke. Smike at this point, I'd say he needs to fall back, but he has got backup from 0, so I guess that's absolutely fine. He's going to get a ton of kills here. 14-13, they're taking the lead. Like I said, I'm pretty sure HellRaisers are going to take this now. This looks like Team X has got nothing left on Nuke. And like I said, when the guys played the best of 3 in Starladder, Team X actually vetoed this map, so I can see why now.
Yeah, it's quite apparent this isn't quite in their repertoire yet. They're still, it looks like they put a lot of...
There's still a new lineup
Exactly,
in terms of like how long they've been playing with this actual 5, right? So it's a 7-map pool. This is one of the maps that's probably the least played in CSGO right now. So it's difficult in this kind of veto system. You both ban 2 and it's kind of random to what you're going to be playing. So I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get into their pool.
It could be enjoyable if they do. They've got an exciting style of play on other maps, but this not going to be quite displaying that yet. Again, their CT side was enjoyable to watch. You know, you saw that individually they are certainly strong. It's just as a team, as those executes are required on this map so desperately, they don't quite provide them. But again, let's see what they bring in this one. They are still on 13 rounds. That is the thing. They have a small window of opportunity. It's just we haven't seen that potential showing yet. And already, Team X have bullied their way through by radio. They do have some step towards ramp. Angels on the other side, Modi lands the shot. That's the difference. Individually, they can keep up.
Exactly.
And now the danger is the fact that individually, they're going to get some fights here.
Yeah, if they just give themselves an opportunity to find a headshot like they did this end, just running in towards ramp, there was no method to the madness there, just running in hoping for the best. But this is where they get locked down. Zero, he was waiting towards lower. He gets 2 kills, and the bomb now does need to be planted now. They're going on top of the side. I did discuss this was a possibility before, and that's going to be their downfall. Why are they trying to do that? They have no control of the situation. Why are you planting on top? Like, it's quite a nice idea, but there's definitely not enough safety to even get that down. Plant safe, get the bomb planted. Now you're in a horrible situation. That was very risky to say the least, and that's actually going to cost them the round.
Yeah, it's like they got on Reddit and looked for like how to play Nuke and just found out these kind of nice spots that they can plant in.
So I found this new plant spot.
Wow.
He's going for it as well.
Freeze,
he doesn't even know what to plot. There it is. Finally gets there.
I don't know why is. Why? I don't get why. I just don't understand it. I know, I guess in a 1v2 at that point.
I think he just wanted to get the bomb down. He's just like, oh, you can plant up there. And he's like, he didn't even know the exact spot. It took him like 5 seconds to work out where to plant. But yeah, for me, that plant, they actually had an advantage in that round. There was no CDs rotating in. They could have had the crossfires, covered the planter behind Silo, just watch the door area, watch towards Squeaky, and it could have been fine, but yeah, it didn't really work out for them in that manner. It's going to be 15-13 now. HellRaisers, after losing the first half 12-3, actually 1 round away from taking this one. What a turnout. This has been, like I said, Team X just relying on the individual player to actually step up and find those headshots. That round, let's just run round. Let's hope for the best. Molly does get the initial kill, but Zero gets the first couple of frags, and that plant on top of the silo, very questionable indeed. That cost them the round. Yeah, 15-13, HellRaisers. We did say this, well, you at least theorized this was probably going to be a 1-to-1 series, both winning out on their maps. I don't think I quite expected to be so split, let's say, on this one from T to CT, and a real disappearance from Team X on their T side in comparison. Yeah. However, it does make sense, and HellRaisers now just need to close. They need that one more round, and they are secured here, and they can go into the next map, which is going to be Cobble, bearing in mind that is coming up next between these two. But looking at what Team X is trying to do, get some outside control. Those smokes that they seem to have had in their arsenal, you know, whether or not they just worked them out on the fly or not, yet to be seen. But it hasn't really equated to much more than this. They get some control towards the outside, and then they kind of hit that brick wall. That brick wall looks as if be Angel for now. Once again, as you said, default towards outside, but they're kind of just standing in the open, hoping Glaive can find his first opening. He was great on the CT half, seems to be slowing right down now. The Molotov out of main entrance. And there's the first kill from Smike as well. They're going to have to go for the upper split. It's a last-ditch attempt, but they do get 2 frags.
It's actually not bad. They actually played that quite nicely. They isolated Bondik, but now Sticko just overcommits up the vent. Not sure why he wasn't expecting maybe a player there or two, but it's back down to a 2v2. Zero going to readjust through the window. In hard, gets one, trades it out now 1v1. Angel's got to know where this player is. Snappy's on the bomb site, and I think Snappy's got a good idea where Angel is as well. So both players relatively aware, and Snappy, that's dangerous as you like. Gets down the vent, still alive. Going to go for the plant towards lower. And they do it again.
And at this point, he knows exactly where he is, right? So he's going to get the plant down. But the problem is he has got 7 HP. But like we said before, we discussed this. When the bomb is down lower, there's so many options for the terrorist to go. He's got a massive job ahead of him, Angel, to actually work out what's going on. He's dropped down. He's going to realize the bomb's on the upper, or on top of the silo. And now it's where things get interesting. I'd just say full defuse at that point.
The only peek he can make is either open the door and give it up, or go to control room. So Angel's now worried, does he have an angle on this? How
can he even look?
Like, Snappy.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God, if he'd missed that. Do you know what? I wouldn't... I'd have been pretty happy if he missed it after that sort of round. This tests me, Henry. This could be 15-15.
I think it will be. It probably will. It probably will happen. You know, like last minute, they find something. But a pretty scrappy round, but it does work out for Team X. They find 15-14, and they're not going to have a ton of cash. They only come to get one player alive after that round, so you have the reinvestment coming in. You can see Val, he's been affected. He's only got the Galil. They will just be heading towards outside this time. Let's just stick together. Power in numbers. Just hope we can hit the shots. I think that's the methodology being employed right now.
I think Angel's just confused. Guys, there's 4 of them outside for some ungodly reason. Can you help me? It's seemingly matchmaking's happened, but it might work. They've, again, put those smokes down. They're going to get towards lower pretty quickly. Smite can't see anything. Sticko, however, has found Molly, so that's one threat removed from the chessboard. And now the crossfire hasn't been set. That's not in place yet, but Sticko's still in a really nice spot. Spots him out. Again, information keeps coming through towards HellRaisers. They're in the right place, but now they need to finally execute those players on the other side, and they are going to do this, at least for now. Nice positioning from Sticko playing from the upper piece here, leaving just 2.
Unfortunately, it's so telegraphed what they're doing. They just sent all 5 players outside, down Seeker, hope for the best. And unfortunately, HellRaisers don't really have to read too much into that situation. Let's just go down lower and have crossfires. And it's Sticko, he finds 3 kills pretty easily. And now Snappy, the last player remaining. This will be HellRaisers picking up this first map. But let's see if Snappy can make a good go of it. He's in the 5-on-1, 50 seconds in the bomb. So it's not in the realms of impossibility, but we'll find out if he can even get the bomb down. There it is. I tried to build it up.
It was there. There was an attempt. But, yeah, not exactly the most convincing T-side there from Team X. Again, probably a map they don't really play much. It's certainly not in their repertoire just yet. However, for HellRaisers, pretty decent on their CT side. It was quite a close game scoreline-wise, which is worrying, I guess.
HellRaisers actually had, the difference was they were actually getting it down to really tight situations, also 1v1s and stuff like that. And the problem is they were getting kills outside and they were making things interesting. They had a good approach, but Team X, they were the opposite of that. They just seemed like they kind of fell apart. The only round they actually really picked up was that first one. They had CTs had UMPs, and then it kind of, for me, there's no tactical depth there. They didn't have they didn't have a single execution. Their outside default was pretty poor. They were losing every single sort of venture. They were walking outside and all that stuff. But I'd love to hear Yanko's thoughts on this one. So maybe we should pass
Let's head over.
Yes, Yanko has been giggling ever since it actually happened. I asked him a couple of moments ago, I said, is this really happening? And he said, hell yes, it is. 13-2. I mean, just the fact that it was 12-3 on the half in favor of Team X, and then HellRaisers proceed to do 1 better on their CT side. We still, I mean, we talked about how CT-sided Nuke is. It seems in this instance, it most definitely is a little bit biased.
This has nothing to do with the map, Alex.
Nice.
This
I appreciate
just
that.
wasn't a very pretty game of Counter-Strike in general. I mean, this is the problem, right? You look at this map and you say, oh man, why did they reintroduce Nuke? It's still so CT side and everything. This has nothing to do with the map itself. It's just that teams, when you look at both sides, kept going for the most default thing you can try on your T side, going outside yard with some, you know, smokes, flashes here and there, then trying to go to the lower bomb site. And, you know, Freeze, I think he played from that one position the whole CT side, and he didn't get a lot of kills, but he got a couple of high impact kills, and he bought time for his team to rotate in and get the kills. Glaive had a really good first half, so I'm not really sure how this map got through the veto system, right? Because both teams can veto 2 maps, and then 2 maps are chosen randomly out of the ones left. So none of the teams look like they're really comfortable playing Nuke.
I mean, yes, there's a lot of criticism for Team X on their T side. There's no doubt about that. They just got stuck in this default mindset. But I feel like HellRaisers CT side, there was a couple of kind of, you know, positive things to take away from that. There seemed some of their holds outside towards Garage was quite nice. I mean, you have to give some credit to HellRaisers for their defense.
Yes, I mean, it is, you know, the setups you have on the CT side are almost exactly the same that you had in the old version of Nuke, right? HellRaisers, they played that map before, so, you know, just going for those setups, it works really well when teams are disorganized on their T side, right? You need to be prepared for those setups, you need to have an idea of how you're going to counter them. Most of the times, it just seemed like, you know, Team X was meat going into the grinder, pretty much.
It did look like that on more than one occasion.
Look at this. I'm sorry, but Walt goes through the smoke. His teammate is not there to support him. They're just going one by one, and it wasn't that much different for HellRaisers in their T side. Both teams really seemed disorganized on their T sides.
And it does seem as well like if you want to break away from the outside pushes, you do just have to learn the smokes, the Molotovs that you can throw through the glass in towards the upper side. Like, it's just something that we've seen a few teams start to do, and it revolutionizes T-side Nuke. I mean, it's not hard to learn a couple of lineups, right?
Yes, but it's not just that. That's also difficult in itself, right? But you need to be able, if you're going to go outside, there's nothing wrong with that, taking control of yard and then going for that split onto the lower bomb side. But, you know, you need to do it properly. It's not just miling your way through yard and, you know, trying to get kills individually. That's just not going to work most times in Nuke.
And it didn't this time for Team X as they do 16-14 is the score. Talking of the score, there's an app I want to show you. It is called the Score Esports application. You can go ahead and grab it on your smartphone while we take a quick break. Now, Team X have a chance to bounce back, and it's on a map that they 16-0'd FaZe on. 16-0. It's right, it's Cobblestone. It's coming straight up after our break.